So what I want to do is go through your research folder and check on the progress you've made since we looked at it last time, and add anything or suggest any ideas of things that you can add before the deadline. Okay, so things that need improving or other things that you need to add. Okay, and then we'll have a look at your website. So in this folder we should have primary research first of all, okay, which is your questionnaires. So the questionnaire has now been done and has been completed, or you've had a respondent fill it out. Okay, so that's there. Okay, so has your questionnaire been tallied and put in graphs and analysed?
It's been put in graph, but not in. It's put in tally, but not in graph.
Okay, so that's not in this folder.
No.
Okay, that has to be done. All right, because otherwise, what I've got is a really nicely prepared questionnaire. Okay, so you've shown me your ability to write a questionnaire. You've shown me your ability to get it distributed. Okay, and what? Okay, so you need to show me your ability to now bring this in, tally it, which you've said has been done, but then most importantly, put it into graphs and analyse what you've actually found out. Otherwise, doing the questionnaire is completely pointless.
Yeah.
Okay, so you must get that questionnaire put into graphs and analysed, and you're telling me what it is that you found out and how that would help you plan an idea or create a short film. Does that make sense? So that is your utmost priority to be done by the end of this week. Okay, because when I sit down to grade this work, I can't grade a questionnaire if it hasn't been tallied and evaluated. All right? Okay, good. So then we have some secondary research. Okay? So you've researched into the comedy horror.
Yeah.
So the conventions of comedy horror. So you watched Shaun of the Dead, and you spoke about Zombieland, and you you watched Zombieland, and you wrote about what it is that you found out. Okay, so that's one source. Okay, good. That should be in there. Okay. Show me what other secondary research you've done then. So I've got one source there where you've watched a short horror film and you've analysed what it is that you found out. You watched Scary Movie,
yes.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, good. And you spoke about what you found out. You've researched BBFC. Okay. But this needs to be highlighted and annotated. Okay, otherwise all you've done is just printed it out from the internet, and this doesn't show me that you've actually read it, that you've actually understood it, or what you've learnt from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you must highlight and annotate this piece of work, because here, now I look to the left, you've done a small conclusion about what you learnt from that website, but you just need to be highlighted. Okay, make sense? Yeah. You've then been on this website and looked at the horror codes and conventions, but again, it needs to be highlighted and annotated. Okay, so well done for going and finding different sources, because I can see as I'm flicking through these pages, you've visited lots of different sources. Okay, but they must all be highlighted and annotated as you have done here. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
This research here, is this the history of horror research that you did when you worked with Jesper? When you did your presentation about the history of horror? Is that from this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So then I have Codes and Conventions there, and then you've watched 3 films and BBFC. Okay? So this is much improved, but everything needs to be highlighted and annotated.
Yeah.
Okay? And you need to make sure that your questionnaire has been evaluated.
Yeah.
Okay? What you then need to do is you need to look at all of your secondary research as a whole and think, what have I learned? What have I found out? Okay, so as you're going to write an evaluation for your questionnaire, you need to do the same for all of this. So think about everything that you've read and that you've watched, and maybe pick out 5 important findings about what you found out. Okay, and that will be needed to go into a Word document as well. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So let's keep these separate so it's a little more organised. You've got your primary research in there and your secondary research in here. Okay? Now what's in that folder there?
That's just extras.
That's just your paperwork?
Yeah.
Okay. So where is all your pre-production paperwork?
Which pre-production?
So your pre-production paperwork is you were the director, so you would have had a treatment sheet, a storyboard, a script and a shooting script.
Let me check this. Yeah, I think I have it on. home.
You've got all your pre-production at home. Okay. If you haven't printed it out, so I know you've done it, because obviously I wouldn't have given you the green light to go and film, but it needs to be printed out and it needs to be in this folder. Okay. So once you've added those bits to your research, okay, you then need another wallet with director, Tahmid, and those 4 pieces of paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay. You then need production assistant and all of Chloe's work, producer and David's work, sound engineer and Toby's work.
Yeah.
Okay, because you've got all the digital files. Everyone, they emailed you all the work, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just need to print it out and put it into this folder. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so remind me, what are you adding to this folder?
My pre-production.
Pre-production is going to go in the 3rd wallet. Yeah. Your pre-production and what else? So the director's pre-production.
Chloe's work.
Yeah.
David's work and Toby's work.
Good. Okay. What are you going to add to this primary research folder?
What I've learned about it.
You've learnt about what?
About horror.
This primary research for your questionnaires.
Or from a questionnaire. What people know. What the results I got back for horror.
Good. So you need tally, graphs, analysis.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah? What do you need to add to this secondary research folder? What's missing?
Annotating.
Annotating. And how do I know what you found out?
By evaluation.
Good. So, primary research folder, tally, graphs, analysis. Secondary research folder, everything needs to be annotated and you need an evaluation. Primary research folder, pre-production folder, all of your pre-production paperwork and the pre-production paperwork for everyone else in your group. Okay? Some of this is just an admin thing. Yeah, you've got all your pre-production paperwork, you need to get it printed out.
Yeah.
I can't grade an empty wallet, can I?
Mm.
Yeah? And then your primary research and your secondary research needs a little bit of TLC. Alright? Okay? Right, when I look onto your website then, your short horror film, we've got 3 pre-production diaries, okay? And I have production diary 1, 2, 3. Good, so all of your reflection is on there, okay? What's missing is all of your research, all of your pre-production, okay? So, before these 3 pre-production diaries, all of your pre-production paperwork needs to be uploaded to the website, okay? So remember,
all the pictures.
You add more, and then you upload them as documents, okay? So you can upload your treatment sheet, you can upload your script, because they're all files on your computer, aren't they? You just need to upload them, okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? You also need to get all of your research uploaded.
Which research? Questionnaire and everything.
Yes. Okay, so for the things that aren't digital files, okay, so for example your BBFC research, which you've printed out and you've highlighted and annotated, we need to send that to the photocopier and then it will come as an email and you can upload that as a document that way. Okay? This all needs to be done, so you are going to need to stay behind class to get some of this done.
Yeah.
Alright? So, main aim for today, finish your edit, get your production diary done and get that put onto your website. Okay? When we come in tomorrow, we need to make sure that anything that needs to be uploaded to your website is done. So if that means scanning and things, we need to get that housekeeping, but it needs to be sorted out.
Yeah.
Okay? So this evening, okay, what I'd like you to do is finish off your questionnaire, tally, graph and analysis. When that's done tomorrow, we'll set you another target for the bits that are missing from your secondary research. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you work better if it's just a short target. So tomorrow, what are you going to do tonight for tomorrow?
Tally and graph analysis.
Good. Okay? Yeah?